Perfect. Right, let's get going. We've started. Right.
Yes, it's recording now.
Bismillah. Right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hello and welcome to the News and Culture Show with me, Laura Conda, and my fellow co-host, Paul Cooper.
Assalamu alaikum, folks.
So yeah, just a little bit about the News and Culture Show. We're a show that covers the news across Luton and Bedfordshire. We also talk about arts and culture that are happening around the town and events that are going on so that you can go out, have some fun and get involved if you want to. So Paul, how are you?
I've had a very, very busy week. I went to get a new door for my car because I damaged my door on one of those lift-up barriers in a car park, and was told it was going to be nearly £500 to repair. So I found a door the same colour online. The only problem is I had to drive all the way down to Taunton, which is it's near Glastonbury, basically.
Yeah, no, I know where Taunton is. It's in Devon. I mean, I don't. Every time I have to do those sort of drives, I'm like.
I went. So I finished work at 12:30. Got my son, went down, and we got back the same. So I got back home about 7:45.
Wow.
So it's 360 miles. But it was worth it. Buying the door and the diesel getting down there. I've repaired the car for £75.
That is very good. That is great price. Do you want to do mine? Because I've got need to spin on mine. So if you can do yours, I'm sure you'll be able to do mine.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Okay, well, perfect. That saved me about £1,000 because I got quoted £1,000 just to do one side of my car, to like respray it and everything. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that was a discounted rate as well. I was like, I dread to think if I went elsewhere how much it would be.
Okay.
But yeah,
we'll have a chat later then.
We'll have a chat later. Apologies last week, viewers, for not being on. Unfortunately, I've been sick again. I've had a chest infection, so Paul had to miss out basically on a
wait.
He had to wait patiently for me to recover. It was not fun last week, but I'm slightly on the mend now. We'll continue.
Reason why I had to wait is because I don't do the production, so I literally finished work, arrive in the studio,
gets given 8 pages of paper.
There's a lot today, and Laura's done the production, got everything ready because I don't have to get time to get involved with the production, so that's her job.
That's my job. So if I'm not here, no one it don't get done. This show.
We don't know what to do.
In all fairness, I think a lot of people don't realise that all the presenters on Spy FM do a lot of their own work, like all the interviews, everything, people they book, is all booked by the presenters. So they do a lot of work here themselves. And I think people don't realise how much goes into a radio show or even a podcast like this. So we have a really good team as well that help out as much as possible. But yeah, it's a lot on everyone that's involved in producing these things. So hats off to everyone, really, because it's people don't understand how much goes into Inspire FM behind the scenes. There's a lot of us here just trying to survive, basically. But yeah, let's move on to, we've got a lot to get through. We've got a lot of stories. This first one's particularly close to my heart because I covered his initial sentencing in October 2021.
Yeah, Carson Grimes.
Carson Grimes. If you've watched 24 Hours in Police Custody, you will know who Carson Grimes is, but he has been described by Bedfordshire Police as Bedfordshire's most prolific sex offender. He has been found guilty of numerous sexual offences against children, young people. Initially, it was 9 young people. I think in this latest one, there was 13 victims as well that had come forward as a result of watching 24 Hours in Police Custody and seeing what had happened.
Well, actually, there was 24 new charges, actually.
I know.
But it was over 13 victims, but 24 charges.
Dating back to 1987 as well. And some of these children had reported these things, what was happening to them, to the police, and the police openly admit now on the 24 Hours in Police Custody that they had failed these children really badly. These children were coming forward and they were often not listened to. They were often told, oh, well, they assumed because as a result of their abuse, they had been turned to drugs, alcohol, they'd been involved in criminality. And so a lot of the time, the police thought that they just didn't, weren't telling the truth.
I have to say, I mean, in terms of child protection, a lot of things have changed. I mean, I've been a servant teacher for about 30 years. And every year come September, every single year, you have to do a review and a revalidation. And it's quite intensive, actually.
Yeah.
You actually have to do an online course where you have to answer questions. And if you don't get up to the pass rate, it forces
It's usually 100% pass rate as well.
Yeah, but if you don't get up to the threshold, which is about, I think it's about 75%,
That's still quite
answers,
high.
you have to take you have to take the test again
Yeah.
until you get it right. So it is the training that anyone in a situation where they're dealing with children, it is actually very rigorous. So fortunately, I would say where things are now compared to like back in the late 80s, I mean, I can't comment then because I wasn't teaching then, but how rigorous it is now. You know, whatever the child says, you document it and you believe it, and you pass it on up through the chains. And that includes that training everyone has to do. So police would do that training as well.
They do.
It's very rigorous.
Sorry, apologies, listeners. So yeah, he was originally in October 2021 sentenced to life with a minimum of 22 years. Again, he's been given another life sentence for this latest string of offences that he's been found guilty of. Another served at least 22 years and 9 months. So he's 69 now. He will never likely see the light of day again, which is fantastic news. But I don't think it makes up for... I mean, there's one victim impact statement that has been read out during court that they've kind of put in. And it talks about her watching 24 hours police custody. Sorry, he watching 24 hours in police custody, and it kind of spurring him to come forward. What he did to me has affected all areas of my life. I was 14 or 15 years old. I still feel ashamed now, as I did then, despite knowing it was not my fault. I've suffered intrusive thoughts all my life, and for some time since that time, I've had to self-medicate. He's been sectioned for his own safety due to suicide attempts. It's ruined his marriage. It's just despicable what this man has done to so many children in Luton as well. He's been described as this like very prolific sex offender.
It's interesting here so the person who is involved with this, her name is Detective Inspector Claire Gilbert. I'll read it. She said, "This has been one of the largest child sexual abuse and exploitation cases that Bedfordshire has seen. And Grimes has been one of the most horrific predators we have ever dealt with. He targeted young and vulnerable children for his own sexual gratification. I want to praise every survivor for their bravery in speaking out and supporting our investigation." And it's nice that she remembered to say that. Because unfortunately, of course, unless when something appalling like this happens and if the victims don't come forward, the police haven't got anything to act upon.
They haven't.
And it's only because of the bravery of the victims that they were able to get this awful person.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm very pleased, while it may not be entirely justice for them, because, you know, a lot of them have lost, you know, the ability. It's ruined their whole lives. And I only hope that this brings them a little solace, you know, seeing and knowing that he's going to die in jail. And let's face it, people who are in jail for this kind of thing, you know, are suffering.
On this, just thinking about that impact that was read from that person. You know, I'd like to say to these victims, don't see any weakness in yourselves. You are the heroes for speaking out, and you were children when this happened. You did nothing wrong. You were the heroes for stepping out, so they were able to get this evil person. So never ever think, if you're a victim of such of an awful crime of this, that it's any fault of yours. And, you know, I think that's really important.
It is incredibly important. And if you have been a victim of Carson Grimes or any other sort of crime like this, you can go to Bedfordshire Police. No matter how long ago it happened, they will listen to you. They have a specialist unit that deals solely with this kind of cases. So please do come forward if you feel that you can. Please do, and the police are just on the other end of the phone. You can report it on 101.
Yeah.
And yeah, please do feel that if you can, please do speak up, because you speaking up does help get those convictions, and means that this man will never see the light of day again, and we can all be very thankful for that.
Well, the fact that he's now been put away, their courage, and may God bless them, may Allah bless them for speaking out. Their courage has got this evil person off the street, so 100%. He can't ever do it again.
100%.
Right, so where are we next?
We're on the armed police. So yesterday, there's a little village. Well, I wouldn't say it's a little village, actually. It's quite a big village for a village called Toddington. It's just outside Luton. I saw this kind of unfolding on Facebook because I have previously lived in Toddington. So I saw loads of people going, oh my God, there's armed police everywhere. Because nothing like that happens in the village. You might occasionally see police because of the service station. A lot of illegal immigrants sometimes come off the lorries there, but this 3 people arrested yesterday by armed police in the village after 2 men were spotted with weapons in the village, which is it's very unusual for there. Like, you'll get little scraps between kids, but something like this is unusually rare. So
they were actually armed, were they?
Well, allegedly. I would like to say this is an open police investigation at the minute. This is there was a violence disorder, allegedly. The police are looking for witnesses. If you did witness the incident, or you've got any footage of it, please do pass that on to the police.
But they have made 3 arrests.
Yes, a man in his 30s, another man in his 20s, and a 15-year-old child.
Oh gosh.
Which is quite scary. But
so if you saw anything, police apparently are still looking for witnesses. So if you did see anything that you think possibly could have been missed, that you could add that the police might find useful, then please contact them.
Yep, 101 is the number to call. Still on the conversation of police, the Police and Crime Commissioner. Do you know what that is?
I can't remember, I'll be honest.
Honestly, I think it was a thing that was brought in by the Conservatives. It's supposed to
you have to vote for these people.
You have to vote for these people. They are
now.
Essentially an independent person that doesn't have any involvement with the police, that monitors how the police is run.
I'm with it now, yeah.
I think that is it. I don't think anyone's really ever understood what a police and crime commissioner does. I have heard many different versions of it, and I still can't grasp it. And
there we've got an angle for a future interview.
Maybe we should get John Tizard on. Maybe John Tizard, if you're watching, do you want to come on and explain to us what you do exactly? Because, I mean, this is basically him saying that more needs to be done about knife crime, or to tackle knife crime in the county, particularly in Luton. So they have this meeting with councillors from all 3 boroughs, so Bedford Council, Luton Borough Council and Central Bedfordshire Council. They have this big meeting with the Police and Crime Commissioner on like a panel. And so Bassett Mahmood, who's the Labour councillor for Chorley in Luton, has said that residents in Luton are increasingly concerned about rising knife crime. I mean, we've seen on our show, we've reported on quite a few knife crime cases.
It's very sad, and we often think that it's only here in Luton, but unfortunately it isn't. It's everywhere now.
Bedford's really struggling at the minute. I think they had another incident over the weekend in Bedford, and I think,
in actual fact, I came across something I just watched this morning, where they were interviewing the police officer involved with that thing in Hainault in London.
Oh yeah,
with the guy that had the what's it
sword.
Called?
He had a sword.
The Japanese sword. What's that called?
Samurai sword.
Samurai sword.
Yeah.
And this thing was 60 centimeters long.
It's huge. They were huge, and I don't understand for what any reason owning a weapon or being able to buy a weapon like that is necessary.
It's become against the law now. And anything, they did mention it when I was watching it on the TV this morning. Because I think if it's over 30 centimeters, and anything over that is against the law. So that's what's about 30 centimeters. That's about that, isn't it?
It's about that. Well, I mean,
what's about the size of an
R8 pieces of paper.
R8 pieces of paper.
So he said, John Tizard, who's the PCC, he said the police are doing their best to carry out arrests of those involved with carrying knives, involved with knife crime, that they did an amnesty across the county and thousands of knives were collected, which is true. They have done an amnesty across the county and they did collect over 1,000 knives. That was great news, but unfortunately it hasn't stopped knife crime from happening. And I don't know I don't think anyone has a correct answer for this. There is no.
Well, I think it's one of those things is that we need to take the mentality. We can't think, it's young people and therefore the older people around like me, we haven't got a part to play. Remember, society is all of us, and we need to get the message across all the time from our youngsters. Never assume that your children are not going to get involved in
100%.
bad things.
100%.
Over the years, I've seen many children, and of course you see them from when they're young. They start off in high school, year 7, and you can sometimes see the change. How they change, and it's because it's not always down to parenting that they can end up getting bad influences.
100%.
But remember, parents, be active. Children will often kick back at you, but never make the assumption. Don't assume that your kids will do the right things. It's when we make the assumption that they always do the right thing and we haven't got to watch what they're doing, then they're losing that guidance.
I think 100% as well. Parents, we often hear, not just from parents, but in general, when a child is killed for knife crime, they weren't ever involved with gangs. Sometimes it was just that they were in the wrong place in the wrong time. I think or it's like little disputes end up being settled by knives. We've seen it again, time and time again in Luton. And it's not just the parents of the child that dies that lose out. It's the parents of the child that commits a crime as well. They lose out on watching their child grow up and having all those things equally that, the child that is also killed doesn't get to do either. It's a really sad situation for everyone. I think the police are doing the best they can. They've obviously got the Lost Boys film that is still available to watch if you want to go and find that, and that's about exploitation.
I actually taught a boy that was he wasn't. He would have been 16 at the time. I actually taught a boy, so I'd left that school and went to another school. And he murdered another boy with a knife. He's been convicted. He's been in prison now for quite a number of years. I think he got about 17, 18 years.
Yeah, they do. These are long sentences as well, and it's the time of your life where you should be having fun and being out and not serving a prison sentence because you've killed someone else, which is
and 2 families get destroyed.
Yeah, 2 families do get destroyed, and it's
of course you've got the family that have lost a family member that has died, but then the other family, the parents of the person that did it, their family is destroyed. Because their child has gone off to prison,
and it's upsetting. It's hard to lose your child like that. So there are things available. They did do a recent conference in Luton about knife crime at Luton Sixth Form College, where they talked to parents about spotting signs.
I remember us speaking about that.
And they want to do that, bring that across the county. But obviously, it's not just the police that are involved with this. This says about consultants at the Luton and Dunstable Hospital saying that that a day doesn't go by where he's not dealing with stabbing in the theatre. He's having to operate on children.
Yeah, this is a consultant from the Luton and Dunstable Hospital.
Yeah.
But literally, this is what this consultant is saying. I don't know who she or he is, but they're saying hardly a day goes by when, or is it he's not dealing with the stabbing in the operating theatre. It's shocking, isn't it?
It is, because it's not just perhaps having to be stitched up or things like that. It comes with serious health complications as well. People can lose kidneys, they can lose parts of their other organs as well, and then that's a lifelong disability. These young people end up having to suffer as a result of knife crime, and it involves a lot of professionals as well. It's not just the police that are involved in this, it's the healthcare services, the NHS, then it's the families that have got to, if they're fortunately, thank God that child lives, you know, that has got to deal with that. So it's I think so he did make a good point. When someone does get stabbed in Luton, you always see, oh, it's another stabbing, and that is always the excuse. And I think that we need to stop with that mentality and start saying, what can we do to stop this from happening? How can we stop this? I
mean, thank fortune in this country, governments have always been resistant for firearms to become easily available, because if they were really easily available in this country, it wouldn't be stabbings, it would be shootings. It would be that. So moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So I don't know. So they've basically this land in Luton Town Centre that they're currently using as an airport car park. You might have seen it. It is
in the town centre.
So on Vicarage, you know, like Vicarage Street, where St Mary's Church is, there's that big roundabout.
Yeah.
And on the corner there used to be a block of offices that they knocked down very suddenly out of nowhere.
Oh, do you mean just before you get to the flyover?
Yes, just before you get to the flyover. There's that on that corner, and there's loads of cars parked there at the minute.
And there's just little steps going up.
Yeah, in the middle. Yeah, random little steps.
For some reason, they left that bit and knock it down.
It makes me laugh every time. I don't understand why there's a random little steps in the middle. But yeah. So this unattractive plot of land, as it was described in the application, which is such a great thing, is going to be turned into housing and a self-storage facility, because that's been approved by Luton Borough Council.
So they're going to make flats there or something?
They're going to make flats there. 178 apartments, so 178 flats, probably 1 and 2 bed. I don't think it actually says...
That place isn't that big, surely.
Well, it'd be going upwards.
Oh, they're going to go quite high.
I assume. I don't know.
178. Goodness, that's
178 flats. And do you want to know the best part?
Yeah, go on.
There's going to be no car parking spaces.
What do you mean?
There's going to be no. This residential development will be car-free except for 6 disabled parking spaces. And a communal community courtyard.
And no one's going to buy them in then, are they?
Well, you say that, but you
right,
think about I wouldn't, because I drive.
There you go.
Most people in Luton Town, you've got to think about how many blocks of flats there are in Luton Town Centre, and people live in them, and there's no parking.
Isn't there?
There's no parking in most of them. I was having this conversation at the weekend about because a lot of these buildings.
So you mean they're like in Whippley Ring and?
Like Whippley Ring's fine, but I'm talking like Wesley House. So you think on the flyover, right? You know, there's that block of flats that used to be office buildings called Wesley House.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Just near the roundabout.
Yeah, that's got no parking. It's got some space for disabled people, but no actual parking for residents.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So a lot of these flats in town centre, they're often given planning permission with being car free. It's always a contentious issue. I think if you follow any Facebook groups or anything like that, you will know.
Actually, I've lived here since 1998. You're going to be shocked at this. Are you ready?
Go on.
I've never been on a bus in Luton, not once.
That is, I mean, in all fairness, honestly, I don't really get on the bus that much.
Sometimes I'll they'll say, "Oh, this bus," and I just look at them. So I don't know where that is.
I don't know half the bus. These days, I don't know half the buses because they've changed half of them. So there's going to be 76 1-bed flats, 88 2-bed flats, and 10 3-bed flats, and 4 4-bed flats. If you've need a 4-bed flat, that means you've got a family. There's no way you potentially don't have a car. So I don't understand where they're supposed to work. Also, there's going to be a self-storage facility. So one of those like...
I think they can put the car in there.
They can put the car in there. That's where you put your car. You put it in the self-storage.
So it'd be like that... it's going to be like a big yellow sort of thing. Is it one of those ones?
Yeah, I was trying not to mention any names because we don't want to get in any trouble after mentioning certain other chicken shops previously. Right. I have got one more story that I want to share before we end quickly, because I have found this quite funny.
Which one?
The Dunstable Mum petition.
Oh,
the train station. So just very quickly, a mum in Dunstable has got hundreds of signatures actually on a new petition calling for a train station to be built in Dunstable. I admire her dedication to this.
but there's all she's got to do is get on that busway. It comes down.
Yeah.
Right.
And it comes to Luton train station.
Yeah.
Directly. Or even Luton Airport Parkway if you want.
Yeah.
But
so you just got to get on that. It goes all the way up through the centre and with various stops.
And it's only £3.
You get on there and it takes you to the train station.
But yeah,
hang on.
Just build a train line.
Yeah, but you see, this has gone to that rivalry of Dunstable having it be separate from Luton.
Well, there was allegations there. I don't know how true this is. Very quickly, that Dunstable was the preferred place for a train station rather than Luton, and they didn't want it because they didn't want to become a commuter town. This was when they were building the railways, and therefore now that's why Luton has train stations and Dunstable doesn't. So Dunstable could have had the airport as well. They could have had a lot of things if they had just taken the train station back in the 1800s.
I've got to be honest. Seriously, what is all the fuss about? You drive up across Dunstable Road and then you get past where Tesco's is and then they change the name of it. Then it becomes Luton Road. There's no divide. They merge into one another. Like you go down through Luton. There's no
even Houghton Regis merges.
Yeah, there's no gap anymore between Luton and Houghton Regis. It's homogenous. I mean, what's all the fuss about?
It's just people from Dunstable being Dunstable. No, I didn't say that out loud. But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, let's see. Maybe she will get her train station. We just don't know. So after the break, we'll be joined by Amy from Community Interest Luton to talk about Hellfest and Salma Khan from the Foodbank to talk about the Colour Run at the weekend. So join us after the break. Assalamu alaikum.
Get Luton prayer and Jamaat times for your local masjid on your phone. Download the Inspire FM app. Available for free on the App Store or Google Play.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome back to the News and Culture Show, where me, Laura Conda, and my co-host, Paul Cooper, we talk about all the latest news that's happening in Luton and arts and culture and the events that are going on around the town that you can go get involved with and have fun. So joining us now is Amy Clark from Community Interest Luton, and she's going to tell us this weekend there's quite a lot going in Wardown Park actually, and she's going to tell us about Hellfest that's happening this weekend. Hi Amy, thanks for joining us.
Hello, you okay? Hey.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So do you want to tell us a little bit about Hellfest, because I've been before but I know a lot of other people might not have, so do you want to just let us know what it is?
So Luton Hellfest started, this is our third year, so 3 years ago. Our first one was originally held in Wardown Park. The second one we had in Denby High School. And this year we've come back to Wardown Park. We're there from 8 till 3. It's basically about bringing all different community organisations, your local GPs, pharmacists, basically anyone health related, or anyone who's got advice and guidance about, fitness, what's good to eat, what's not good to eat, get your BP checked, get your, eyes checked. We're going to have opticians there, how you can do at home eye tests. So we're going to have a variety of different people offering advice and guidance based on health, fitness, social care, career advice from the university. If anyone wants to become, go into the health sector, how do you go about it? Do you need a degree? Do you not need a degree? So there's quite a lot going on. We're going to have a main tent where there's going to be loads of different talks. So there'll be GPs kind of talking about how do you get an appointment, because a lot of things have changed now. And I'm sure people hear all the time, they're complaining about not being able to get appointments. So we're going to have GPs there on the day who can answer any questions that people have. Cancer awareness, women's health, We've got Elsie Fitness there on the day as well, running the women's section. So she's going to have a women's sports day going on, which is already pre-booked and people have already registered for that. And the sign up for that's closed. But she's also going to be hosting axe throwing and archery. So, and that's open to everybody. So we've got loads of different things going on throughout the day, and we're there from 8 till 3.
Oh, my wife will like that. My wife's into archery. Yeah, she got like a £300 bow and
Wow.
these expensive. I took her out to this place past Tring to buy it about 10 years ago.
I was going to say, you will be there on Saturday anyway, because you'll be at the Colour Run.
You think
I'm still going to make him go to the Colour Run.
You think you're going to get me to run? Okay.
We're not running, we're walking. So actually, Amy, are you taking part in the Colour Run this weekend?
Well, I would love to take part, but I'll be helping host, setting up stalls and everything on the Hellfest. But I do love the Colour Run. It's great fun. It's a good laugh. It's a good community event. We work really well with Salma and the team, and they've also got Park Run as well. So you've got Park Run starting at 9 o'clock. That's night. Then Colour Run starts at 10 o'clock. Then obviously we're there. So I think Wardown's going to be a great day on Saturday.
It's got hope for good weather then. Hopefully this weather continues, but not as hot.
Definitely not.
Because I remember last year when we were at Denby, it was extremely hot.
I got severely burned.
Yeah, I was like hiding under everywhere because we're both really pale, and I think I was hiding under like an umbrella trying not to.
I didn't realize it until kind of like it was the end of the day, and I like took my glasses off, and like everyone started laughing, and I was like, oh my gosh, is it that bad? And I got home and I had the whitest patches here and my face was like a lobster, and I was like, oh, it was really hot today.
So what's the importance of putting on Hellfest for Luton?
I think the main key for us is that we know that the Biscuit area, the Saints area, is quite a deprived ward, and there's a lot of health risk there in the sense of it's a high BAME community, and there is a lot of diabetes, hypertension, things like that. And I think it's all about Hellfest is all about prevention. How can we help our community? And it's hard to get hold of your GP. It's hard to get hold of, health and fitness guidance, regardless of, what it's about. It could be something about, I've got this lump. How do I notice the signs? Is it cancer? Is it not cancer? And I think having all of these practitioners in one place, you can bring people down, and you can, check your blood pressure. You can check your sugar levels. You can, check whether, you need to go actually see your GP personally because your blood pressure is too high or too low. The pharmacies are there, and obviously pharmacists nowadays can also prescribe things. So I think also knowing when to go to your pharmacy and when to go to your GP, that all that information is going to be there. And I think prevention is key at the minute. If I bring my mum down, because my mum's in her 50s, she's getting to that age where her health is important. So if I bring her down, it's kind of, I can start her prevention now before she gets to kind of 70 and 80 and her joints are aching, or, her blood pressure's through the roof, or, she's already, pre-diabetic, and we've kind of started the prevention for that. So I think that's the key. It is the prevention of trying to, help our elders, but also get that installed in ourselves as well, because it's all good and well me saying to my mum, you need to get your blood pressure checked, you need to do this, you need to be health and well-being and all of that. But if I'm not doing it myself, that's the other part as well. So I think it's about bringing the community together and kind of starting now before, it gets too late and we can't reverse things that have been done.
Good idea on this point. I'm just going to share a little bit of my own health there. I'd been suffering with high blood pressure for a long time, and I didn't know, and it's badly damaged my kidneys. So if any of you guys haven't had a blood pressure check, it's worth getting done. So come along, you get it done for free. And if you find out you've got high blood pressure, take it from me. It's not something that you want to have undiagnosed. Unfortunately, I didn't know. I also have a mild kidney condition that makes me vulnerable to high blood pressure. And I developed high blood pressure and didn't know, and it's badly damaged my kidneys. So I have to be, so because of the diabetes now, they have to treat everything really aggressively. So I have to make sure I never miss medication. I have to watch my blood pressure, record the blood pressure, and I have to be really careful now. So if you haven't had a check, pop along. Aimee will help you and get a check done, guys.
Not Aimee specifically, I should add.
Not me specifically.
Amy's not going around with a blood pressure card.
Yeah,
Guys, get your blood pressure done.
but Aimee, bless you, you'll point people to where they need to go, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we will definitely, you know, the teams that we've got there, you know, we've got all the local GPs, we've got all the PCNs, you know, BLMK, Total Wellbeing, everybody's coming together to, you know, to give the community the best that they can. And as you say, it's a free event. Everything there is free. You know, people are going to be giving freebies away as well, which everyone loves a freebie. So, you know, it's definitely worth coming down to.
Excellent. And
so the Colour Run's happening at the same place
Colour
at
Runs,
the same time.
like I said, Wardown Park is going to be...
we could literally bump into people for all sorts of reasons.
There's going to be so many people there this weekend, and I will be there filming lots of stuff for Colour Run, for Inspire FM. But I mean, Hellfest, would you say Hellfest has been really successful this past couple of years?
Yeah, I think we're starting to realize the impact. Like, I feel like being in our third year now, we've got more people involved. There's more people contributing towards it as well, which I think is important. You know, when we first started, it was just a few GPs and kind of Total Wellbeing, and it was kind of, everyone's like, health, really? Like, do we really need that? Is it really that important? Then kind of by the second year, that people are like, okay, like, health is important. You know, people are getting diagnosed, as you know, as you mentioned, with high blood pressure, with diabetes, with, you know, cancer. They've got mental health. A lot more is coming out. So I think now in our third year, I think people are realizing the importance of it, not just, you know, the community, because the community want it. The demand is there, but it's kind of, we need to get everyone else involved, you know, as I said, GPs, PCNs, BLMK, everyone else to come on board, public health. Everyone has joined forces to say, what can we do? How can we help? Because we know there's a need now. Whereas I think 3 years ago, it was more kind of, it wasn't as important. Yes, we knew there was issues, but no one really knew how important it was until kind of the statistics come out of how many people have got poor health, how many people are going for GP appointments. And they start to realize that actually we need to put something in place that is going to support and give people the advice and guidance that they need.
Well, thank you. Have you got any questions, Paul?
I can't think of any.
No? So thank you, Aimee, for joining us.
I think we covered
I don't
everything.
think you're having me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this Saturday, 8 a.m. till 3 p.m, Wardown Park. If you're going to
Yeah.
the Colour Run, you can go straight afterwards. You can go with the colour on and go and get your health checked. I think that's a really great opportunity as well. You can go and do your bit for charity, and then go and
100%.
get your blood pressure checks and your diabetes checks and your asthma checks. Hopefully, they'll be there.
If I do come though, I'm not running.
No, we'll both not be. I can't run. I've got asthma, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. It's nothing to do with the fact that I'm really unfit as well. I'll still be there. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, Aimee, and chatting to us, and I shall look forward to seeing you this weekend.
I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
So yeah, as we've mentioned, Colour Run is this weekend, and we've got Salma Khan here from Luton Foodbank to talk to us all about that.
So we've got a guest we've had before. Assalamu alaikum, Salma.
Walaikum salam. How are you both?
Yeah,
Good,
lovely to have
thank
you again. How's everything been?
Really busy, really hot. It's just extremely hot. But we're happy. We're not complaining. We've got nearly 600 people coming to the Colour Run, so we're really excited. It's going to be busy. I just heard everything from Aimee about the Health Fest, and I think it goes really well, doesn't it, hand in hand?
Perfect. It's exercise, so you're at least getting out there and doing what you should be doing and getting that exercise. But at the same time, you know, you get to go and do your health checks afterwards that you might not have thought about doing, and you might find out that you've got something that you should get sorted pretty quickly. It's a great opportunity to have both things in one place.
It's convenient as well, isn't it? Like, you don't have to go out of your way. You can just pop in, get your health check done, and off you go. So yeah, I'll be doing mine again. I've done it last time. I'll do it again this year.
Excellent. I'll be doing it as well. I think it's really important to do, and be like, especially for us to go out and people see us or Inspire FM, they should know that like we're also going out and doing it and taking our health seriously as well, and that they should too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So obviously the weather's been pretty tough this week. Have you found, how has the food bank been supporting people kind of with this high weather if they're struggling?
So obviously we're here as normal. People can access our services. We also give out water as well. I just think that people need to stay hydrated, and that's really important, and out of the sun, because, you know, heat strokes. I mean, I was at a football tournament, my son's football tournament over the weekend, and it was extremely, extremely hot. And you can easily get heat stroke by staying out. And I think the council have issued some posters that we're going to be sending out to all of our runners, and we'll be putting it on our social media to make sure that the people that are running on the day stay safe, basically.
So how did your son's team get on, Salma? Did they win?
They did. My son is 7 and they won the shield, and he was so happy. And one of my sons is a coach, and his team won, and I was proud of both of them.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Mashallah.
Congratulations. What are their names?
Ismail and his team won the shield. So Aces, Luton All-Star Aces. Woohoo!
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's fantastic. So the Colour Run this weekend, if someone's not signed up yet and is a bit unsure, can they turn up on the day and sign up? Is that still possible?
But they can sign up via Eventbrite. They won't get a t-shirt. We could possibly sort out sunglasses for them. It's because we've put the order in, and we may have spares. We just don't know, but you can sign up. You can come sign up on the day if you want to. And if you've got spare t-shirts, what it is if you sign up to the run, you do have to register because of insurance and everything else, and the colour, and, you know, so they can. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just more that if someone's umming and ahhing on the day, they wake up and go, actually, no, I can do this. I have got the ability to do this, and they can. There's still the option of them signing up on the day. They just have to fill out the form there and then.
Yes, and I think maybe from last year, people might be put off because it rained, but everyone loved it, even in the rain. So if you are thinking about it because it rained last year and you came and the weather's good and you want to do it in the morning, you could just turn up and sign up.
Excellent. What is is it supposed to still be this hot at the weekend?
No, I think it's a bit cooler, but then you just don't know, it might change. I might need to check again, actually. But this weekend was really hot.
It was extremely hot this weekend, and I think it's I mean, at least it's at 10 a.m, but even 10 a.m this morning, it was horrendously hot today. I don't know if anyone else was outside at that hour, but I was struggling.
Yeah.
But let's hope it's not that hot.
I drove into work this morning, and it was about, as I left home, about 9:10, and I was surprised how warm it was. I was thinking, crumbs, it's still really early.
It's still very hot.
Yeah.
So do you want to remind people what the Colour Run is for, just in case if they haven't listened to your last interview, or they're not entirely sure, they're new to it? Do you want to just explain what the Colour Run is?
Sure. So we do the Colour Run every year, and we do it just before the children break up for summer, because the need for food parcel grows in the holidays, because children can't access free school meals. So basically the Colour Run is a twofold thing, where we raise awareness that there is a food bank. You can access it if you're in need, and we also raise funds so then we can make sure we have enough food parcels going out in the summer so we can buy the items and whatnot. So that's what it is for, to alleviate holiday hunger.
And how much does it cost to sign up?
£20, which pays for a food parcel.
And what could people expect in those food parcels? Just because a lot of people might be thinking, oh, £20 might be a lot for me right now. But what does a food parcel kind of look like?
So it has, I would say, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days. So what we put in there is a box of cereal, long life milk, juice, beans, tuna, rice, pasta sauce. So there's like 20 items that go in the food parcel. So we provide enough for about 5 days, I would say. And for children parcels, we are now doing fresh items where we're doing fruit and vegetables for them too, instead of the tinned items.
So you
And
you get 3 meals covered for 5 days. You said.
yes, because if you think the cereal boxes, they have like 20 servings or whatnot.
Well, it's better how big they are, I suppose.
Yeah, and we also for obviously people that have like Muslim families, we give a halal meat voucher as well, where they can go and pick up fresh meat.
That's fantastic. That's really
Well, actually, we've changed it. We give it to everybody now. So because we give that option to everyone, they can either pick up fresh meat or they can take tinned meat. It's a choice now for all clients, all users, all families.
I was going to say, because halal meat is exceptionally expensive, and I think it's really hard for Muslim families sometimes. Perhaps they are making that decision between whether to eat meat or not because they can't afford to perhaps pay for the halal meat. If you're on a situation where you need to use a food bank, you know, it is a really tough call to make, whether you have to stick with what you know is, you know, considered that you have to eat that, and whether you get something that maybe is cheaper. So I think that's fantastic that Muslim families have that option, that they can get fresh halal meat that they need.
Yeah. It is striking, actually, how expensive meat has become now.
It is. I think it's generally, it's got a bit, it's really tough. And I think for families as well, these 6 weeks.
I went out on Sunday and I got 2 kilos of mutton keema, and I got 1 kilo of chicken strips to do on the barbecue, and a couple of packets of buns from the local shop. That was £27.
Doesn't surprise me.
Cost of living, let's not go there, because for me, obviously, whenever I'm shopping, I always kind of think, it just comes to me when I'm shopping, I'm thinking I'm able to buy this because obviously I'm working, and what are other families doing? They must be struggling, because you know what we used to get like 4 bags of shopping for, you're only getting 2 bags that you're bringing home. And even thinking of meat, like obviously we don't do our meat shopping I shop from Aldi or Lidl or whatever, but then on top of that we do our meat shopping, which is more expensive, and I like to bulk buy because I don't like going again and again, so I'll just do like bulk of whatever I'm buying. But it is expensive. Everything is expensive, and you can only imagine how people are coping with the cost of living crisis. Everything is just expensive.
It's a struggle, and those because my children are on free school meals, and when we get the vouchers for the summer holidays, 60 quid is a week shop, and then you've got to do it again for another 5 weeks. It's a lot of money that parents are having to put out, and it soars like your shopping bill in the summer holidays.
And it like they think that it makes a difference for the vouchers that they give, but it actually hardly does. I mean, it does some support, but not that much really, does it?
No, it doesn't make a difference at all.
Yeah. And I think that we just need to let families know that we're here, and they can use our services. And if there's anything around locally, we'll let them know. If they follow us, we'll put it on there. Like, you know, holidays, you'll have ads that will provide you £1 for a meal and a drink, and, you know, those kind of things. Yeah. I think those kind of tips are really good for families to know, because it gives them a kind of an outing, and then their child can eat lunch. Because it is a real struggle.
It is, absolutely. And also for families, so if a family or an individual needs to use the food bank, how can they
they just need to give us a call, actually. Just give us a call, drop us an email, whichever way you prefer, phone us. We will take it from there. It's not difficult at all. We don't make it difficult for you. We try to help you. We'll let you know what else is available for you. So I would just say, just pick up the phone and find out, and don't feel shy or embarrassed, because I always see it as when we have enough food, we can share. And then when you've got enough, you can share back. And that's what keeps the food bank going, because it's all about the community. You know, Inspire FM listeners have been amazing for us in the, you know, since we started actually. And so is the community. And whenever we put a call out, they always give. And we hope that always continues. And if you need to use our services, please do, because hopefully you'll come to a place where you can give back. And even giving 1 tin of beans goes a very long way.
100%. I actually have a bag that's in my car that I keep meaning to drop off to the food bank. And it's like one of those things where it's like, I keep forgetting to go and do it. So I will. Well, I mean, actually, with the Colour Run, will you be collecting food there?
Yeah, we'll have the van with us. So if anybody brings food, we're happy to take it.
So, if you've got any donations for the food bank, please do bring them with you on Sunday. Not Sunday, Saturday. I keep getting confused. It's
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, please bring them on Saturday as well.
It's the day after Friday.
It's the day after Jummah. Need to remember that. I think it's because this week's just merged into one. The heat, it's all getting to me now. I'm struggling.
Yeah, to be fair, honestly, I don't know how I got up this morning. I was dreading going to work this morning. I thought, how am I going to stay? It was so hot last night. I only managed to sleep about an hour and a half last night.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
But I got through. I'm here.
He got through.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Salma, for coming and talking to us again about Colour Run. We're really excited. We've got a team here at Inspire FM of quite a few of us, so we're really looking forward to taking part this weekend. Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing you.
I can't wait, and we'll be making sure to get plenty for social media too, so we can tag you guys in.
Thanks,
brilliant,
Salma.
brilliant.
All right.
Assalamualaikum.
Well, that's it this week, listeners. Thank you for joining us, and watchers as well. Actually, I forget that we're on camera sometimes, but yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week, inshallah. And yeah, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Have a good week.